Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. For tonight's podcast episode, I have with me Charlie. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
And tonight, we're actually doing a movie review on a comedy that's just came out, and it's on Netflix right now. And that movie is called Bad Trip. Now, the first half of this review is going to be non-spoilerish and everything, but towards the end of it, it's going to be a spoiler review towards the end of the towards the end of this. So if you don't like spoilers, if you don't like anything, probably not going to like it towards the end. Go ahead, check this movie out, and then come back to our review. But with further ado, let's go ahead and get in with this. This movie stars Eric Andre. Pretty much, he runs into his old high school sweetheart all over again, and he wants to try and go on a trip with him and his friend. Well, they go on ahead. They go, and what ends up happening is this: they wind up having hell going through New York and everything, between the sister breaking out of prison and everything else going on, and plus they're riding in a hot pink car that looks like Pepto Bismol, and it says "bad bitch" on the back of it, of the license plate. This movie is funny as hell. I do agree with Rossi on this one. This movie is funny as fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a good time watching this movie. I didn't even watch a trailer for this movie, to be honest with you, and I didn't know what to expect or anything like that. I went in this completely blinded by what this movie is even about, because I was thinking, okay, is it about two teenage kids or whatever trying to go on this like a road trip type movie, and they're just horny and they want to bang some girls? But no, this is just something totally different. Eric Andre stars in this movie, and like I mentioned before, he runs into his old high school sweetheart, and that's whenever everything starts going awry. Now, there at the very beginning, I have to say, was one of my favorite parts in the movie, where we get introduced into Eric Andre's character.
Yes.
And yeah, and this part made me laugh my ass off. Even on the second viewing of watching this, is the part where he's over there cleaning this guy's car and everything, and he's like, and all of a sudden, here comes Maria comes in with her Volvo, and he goes, "Oh my god, that's Maria." And the guy goes, "Who?" He goes, "That's my old high school crush. I gotta meet her. I gotta talk to her." He goes, "Dude," he goes, "I'm nervous. How do I look? I look like a scrub." "No, you're fine. You're good." And then all of a sudden, he goes on ahead. He starts vacuuming. He tells the guy to turn on the vacuum, and then all of a sudden, Eric Andre's clothes just winds up getting ripped off of him, because the vacuum cleaner hose gets attached to him and then rips off his clothes. That scene alone made me laugh. That was like the introduction into the movie, and I'm laughing within the 5 minutes of the film. And that's a lot to do for a comedy, because I've been a comedy to make me laugh. And this is one of those films that makes me laugh. It also has a little bit of Jackass in it, because of the fact that it's the same people who made Jackass. But not only that, but it also feels like true TV, especially whenever you look at like the Impractical Jokers and things like that on what we have. Yeah. So those are the elements that I really liked about it, and I didn't expect myself to actually laugh as hard as I did, but I'm laughing hysterically all the way through this. So what did you think of that in the very beginning when we get introduced into Maria?
Yeah. And I knew what this movie was from a while ago. Because so the director of this movie, he's worked with Eric Andre on. He has a show on Adult Swim, which is Cartoon Network, called The Eric Andre Show. So essentially, it's an 11-minute episode. Each episode is 11 minutes. It's supposed to be the shortest late night talk show, like in that. And they're making fun of the whole late night show. So that one show stars Eric Andre. So the director of this works with Eric on the show. So essentially, what we just described, the plot of Eric and Lil Ray Howard stealing Tiffany Haddish's car to go to New York. That's just the driving factor. The whole movie essentially is Tiffany Haddish, Eric Andre, and Lil Ray Howard. They're the only real actor. They are the only actors in this movie. Everybody else is real. So in the opening sequence, it's just a guy that's in getting his car fixed. That's a real person. All these people are real. So what's happening here is like a lot of stuff that's done in this movie, which is really, and because I think it's Jeff Tremaine, I believe he's the guy that created Jackass. he's produced this movie, so they teamed up with the Jackass crew to do these pranks on real people. And so that's the whole point of the movie is that him going to New York, that's just the driving factor. Like, okay, we just need someone with a plot. Okay, guy gets guy love, like trying to get back to sweetheart, goes to New York. Okay, once you get that out of the way, the whole premise of this, the whole point of this movie is to watch see the reactions of these unsuspecting people and the reactions they do on these pranks. And like all the pranks here, they're very similar to the ones he does on the Eric Andre show. And that's the whole point, like the best part, one of the best parts of the Eric Andre show is what's he gonna do to like just in the public? What's he gonna do? And so I absolutely highly recommend checking out the Eric Andre show as well. They just had its 5th season. Hannibal Buress, the comedian, he's a big part of that show as well. I haven't watched the 5th season, but if you liked Bad Trip or you're interested in watching Bad Trip, definitely check out the Eric Andre show because a lot of stuff that's done in this movie is not necessarily done on the show because the movie they got an R rating so they can do whatever they wanted. But like I knew what this movie was. I've seen the trailer, so I was like really intrigued on it. And yeah, the opening sequence was hysterical. But yeah, I was like,
another thing though that worked for me, and I've seen this in other films, right, where basically it feels like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where he's going through the different neighborhoods, like towards the end of of Ferris Bueller. And this one, you see Eric Andre going through the different neighborhoods and stuff like that, and just busting through people's houses and everything with the glass. Real people's houses.
Him crashing through the windshield, like of the ladies, like a glass door, and then the ladies hiding underneath, like hiding near the rack, and then him tripping over stuff. I mean, this is stuff he does on the show, and like you just knew when like they had a long camera shot of this lady's house, and you see a glass door, and you just know he's about to go through that door, or you think, oh, there's a wedding cake. He's about to go for like, oh, he didn't go for the wedding cake. He juked it.
I thought he was going to go through the wedding cake, to be honest with you. But there's also another part that sticks out to me, though, when he does that, where the woman is like, what the hell? He goes, oh, I'm sorry. I thought the window was open. I thought the door was open. And then he winds up having enough time to help out an elderly woman with her groceries. And then he goes on ahead and he starts running again. And then finally we're over at this yogurt place, or this place
that sequence was hysterical.
That part made me laugh.
Like him grabbing, like him talking about, like, oh, do you know what is in this? Oh yeah, this makes you go to the bathroom real bad.
Oh yeah, and then he's over there just touching it.
He's grabbing with hands. You know what? Like it's like I work like it's like, you know, real chef. Like it's like saying real chefs do stuff with their hands. It's like you're not a real chef. I work.
And he's also putting his finger in his mouth too.
Yeah, and he's like, see, oh no, don't worry, it's all fun. I wash my hands. Like, yeah, it's like, no, you didn't. You touched this. You touched this, touch this. You went over the place. It's like, I'm in the health department. I would shut you down.
Oh yeah, healthcare. She works in healthcare, is what she said.
And then it's just like, yeah, I touch stuff with my hands. Real chefs touch stuff with their hands. It's like, you're not a real chef.
And then also too, Maria comes in there again after he strikes out the first time. Like, Maria.
Oh, what? Yeah, she's a VIP. Everybody, just come in line. What?
It reminds me of Impractical Jokers at that moment. It's like, hey, this person looks like the VIP over here. Come on, sir. Come on over. This is the VIP guy right here. You're the very important person, sir. Come on through. It reminds me of Impractical Jokers that they were actually going to do something in that kind of setting. And then finally, Maria winds up giving her his business card, and he's like, I did it. And then he puts his
and he falls into the hands of the blender. Yeah, and then it's bleeding, and you see the blood like splatter off on the walls. I mean, he, like I said, they're like, this is the requirement. I'm gonna like for the show. He's done that before. Like he's like talking about like, oh hey, like he's like random people on the show. Like, hey, what do you want to drink? Okay, good. And he's like, ugh! And he just randomly like full on fist puts his fist right deep down in the blender, like in front of the people outside. So he's done that one before, but this one, like, he didn't randomly trip in the show. He randomly fist like pull on, like punches the blender, and you see blood everywhere, and it's like, but the bleeding, and then he has this song and dance.
Oh yeah, the mall part makes me laugh. He goes Maria, and then he's just like, and then
he's on the wedding cake, and he's kicking off. I'm like, oh shit.
And this is what's hilarious, though, to me, was the reactions of the people in the mall whenever he's singing and dancing, and then you have the people from his job dancing too. And
well, I mean, I love the like before he ends up going to the work thing when he's meeting up with Lil Ray Howard, and they're talking like it was after you first meet Lil Ray Howard and you meet Tiffany Haddish. Like Lil Ray Howard's working in this like a department store, and you see random real people in there, and she goes like, "Yo, I need money," and he's like, "What? I can give you this much." She's like $20. God, you need more. So she goes like, "Move." She moves, she goes behind the cash register and starts stealing the money from the public. And then it's like, hey, remember, I remember faces. And like, if you tell on me, I'll kill you. Or I'm going to stab you. And then she's like, and she cuts off her house arrest bracelet.
And hands it to the customer.
Get here, hold on to this. Cops will know. Like, don't tell them I've been here. And then the chorus, her chorus is bad bitch on it. And again, that's definitely like, it fits Tiffany Haddish.
Definitely.
And later on this show, I'll have a really cool behind the scenes, like really funny moment of how they got Tiffany Haddish in this movie, but we can discuss that later on.
Okay.
Which I found it just fits this movie. But like this, the first meeting her character, and she has a house arrest. She just cuts it off like no problem, and hands it to the customer. It's like, hey, don't snitch on me. I'll stab you.
And then my other thing, though, too, is with the friend, when he's working in the electronic thing, you have other customers bringing the phone to him. And the customer goes, "Can you fix that?" He goes, "Yeah," along with everybody else's stuff that I have to fix, too. Everybody just keeps breaking their stuff, breaking their phones. Yeah. And then...
seeing her go behind the counters to stealing the cash in front of the people. That was hysterical.
It was. And then the reaction, though, is what got me.
The reactions are the best part of these types of movies. Like if you love the Jackass movies, heck, if you even love the Jackass show, that's what this movie is. It's crammed in a nice 84 minutes. Like it moves fast, but it doesn't feel rushed because there's some moments of like calmness because you're gonna be laughing like the whole movie. So you need some time to breathe. Because there's various moments in it that make you cry laughing, that you're like, you can't stop laughing. And I'm like, and sometimes that means when I can't stop laughing, I have a hard time breathing because I can't stop laughing.
That's the same way with me, though, to be honest with you. And like I said, it's been a long ass time since a comedy has made me laugh. The last movie that made me laugh like that was Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I thought it was
like, yours was Ted. Mine was Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and mine was Forgetting Sarah Marshall, to be honest.
Oh no, my recent one was probably would have to be funny movie. It'd probably have to be The Happy Time Murders, where I was like, when I laughed as hard as this. I mean, there's other movies that I can't think of, but I just remember The Happy Time Murders, the first opening sequence. I'm crying laughing. Like that movie is hysterical. But yeah, this movie was just so funny.
It definitely was. And then you also get into the whole thing where basically Tiffany Haddish's character's in jail, and then therefore the brother, and Eric Andre takes her car out of the lockup and everything.
Because the brother's name is on the sign-in sheet for the car. So and they just take it. Like we're gonna take the car. Like, don't worry about it. She's in jail. We're not gonna need to worry about this.
And what is she gonna do? Break out? And then all of a sudden you see her break out of prison. The way she breaks out of prison is the prison bus rolls up, and you see this one guy trying to get the graffiti off of the building, and then she's like, "Hey, come here. Is he gone?" And she's actually underneath the bus trying to come out from underneath it, and the guy's like, goes, "Just go.
I don't want to get in trouble."
Hey, you want a girlfriend? No, just leave. I'm gonna get fired. Go. And then
to be honest, I wanted to see more of how she got to Under the Bus. Like that for that part, like that one I want to kind of want it longer because I want to see her. How does she get out of the jail? So does she like bury her way under? Because in one of the trailers, she's coming out of this giant ditch, and then she's like, snitches get stitches. And like she's running, telling people that, like, and then that's when she gets, and then suddenly she gets under a bus. So I kind of want to see, like, for that, I wanted to see more of, because I want to see what she does to the real people while she breaks out of prison. Like that stuff, I kind of want to see more of. But like that, like I said, but the scene her randomly under the bus, and then her trying to go get her car, and then she goes up to the guy, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's somebody took it." She's like, "What do you mean somebody took my car?" Yeah, someone took it. And you felt like she was about to do something to that guy right then and there.
Right. He goes, "What's your name, Bob?" "Well, let me tell you something, Bob. My car has been stolen and everything, and I don't appreciate you giving my car to somebody that I don't know, Bob." And so I thought she was going to do something physically wrong to Bob, but she doesn't. She just walks off and flips him off.
Yeah.
And then she winds up trying to take matters in her own hands.
Like she's going like,
she winds up getting a picture of the car of her brother and Eric Andre, and saying if anybody's seen them. And everyone's like, "No, I haven't seen them or anything."
She has to talk to the cops.
Yeah.
And everybody's telling her to talk to the cops, and like they don't know she just broke out of jail. So that's why there's a cop right there. And then she's going up talking to the cop. And the cop's not doing anything. She's like, "You know what? Beep. Like, screw it." And she just like, and then when she goes up to the cop, she goes and steals the cop car. She just manhandles the door. Like the door just flies off. And then you see her random time driving without the door. And you see her staring at people. Like, I'm like, yo.
Right. And then also too, she's also hitting on the cop though too. Because, "Hey, do you want a girlfriend? I haven't kissed a man in like 30 years. You want some?" And he's like, "No, I'm married." He goes, "What? Cops don't care. You can have." He goes, "My vagina is hairy, just like a butthole." I'm like, oh my God. And then you have everybody on the streets just staring and watching, and then the reactions when she tears the cop's car door off was just hysterical, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and then and then it cuts back to Eric and them on the car, and then they're looking for a car, and then you notice the White Chicks DVD, and then Eric's like, "You know what? They're just like, are we sure they're not burn victims? Like, I mean, they're practically crapping on White Chicks," and I think it's funny because, like you said, White Chicks is funny the first few times you watch it, then the rest of it just gets kind of old. However, them bashing it, it's like making fun of that movie, and like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Dude, man, we need to white chick our problems." Like they're just like, completely bashing White Chicks, which I think was the funniest. Like, are we sure? Like, wow, man, are we sure? Like they just look like they just probably have to be all bleached. Like there's been nothing but they're like bleached, and then or like the DVD looked like a bootleg too. Like the cover of it looked like a bootleg.
To be honest with you, I felt like to me it was like one of those video stores thing that looks like somebody used it and they put the price tag on it. That's what it looked like to me on that part. But it kind of but you know what though? It does feel like a road trip movie. It does feel like a road trip movie.
Yeah, I mean it could be a bootleg because again, like I said, we're in this movie. Like they said, like it's a bootleg, maybe just to like kind of like free people out. But it just the chemistry between Lil Ray Howard and Eric, like this, the banner between the two of them, they're like one off in each other. Like, and then even Lil Ray's like, "Dude, I love that movie, but I'm gonna get in on the joke." But that's a common. That's the common like GIF. Practice the whole movie. They're talking about, and when they go up to the one lady like that's sitting there, like the one white girl, she's sitting there. It's like, "Hey, are you sure you're not a black man underneath there?" Like they're asking her. Like so, like again, it's the whole common theme of the White Chicks movie, and they're asking and they're approaching random people, asking them about this. That's the common like joke throughout the movies about the White Chicks flick, which like they're constantly making fun of it, which I appreciate because I thought it was like that does add it more to this movie. Like it's not just them pranking, but just what they do to each other, and then. But their first stop, that scene was hysterical.
The zoo. Because
no, not the zoo. This is when they're in the Texas bar.
Oh yeah, the Texas bar one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then like, dude, we're the only two black people in here. And then you know what? I'm gonna get into this dancing, and then they all start getting super drunk. Like they're like, and I'm like, they have to drive, right? So it's only fitting that they're drinking. And then Eric, being Eric, or in this case, his name is in the movie is Chris. But Chris gets on top and he's like, dude, I want to get a speech. And he's super drunk. And all of a sudden he falls. Falls.
Yeah. Then during the speech, he says, hey, we're the only black people in this bar. And my friend, he needs to loosen up because, we're the only black people in here. All of a sudden he falls off.
I know. And then there's something is like, I'm a nurse, need to check in. And then he seems fine. And all of a sudden, Exorcist style vomit happens. And he just goes berserk. And once that happens, I was like, that was another one of those, I was crying, laughing. Because that scene was so funny. Like him going out like, no, okay, I'm done. It's just like
it's hysterical though, to be honest with you. He even throws up on his friend again, like
I know,
walking out.
And then they get a hotel and you see the residue still on their clothing, and it's like, okay, like yeah, and it's just this the randomness of it. Like I knew something was gonna happen, but seeing it is just you just can't stop laughing. It's just so funny, but the same Exorcist style, like, and he's unprofusively like still doing it. It's the reaction of the people is what really sells this. Because if the people weren't like interested in it, then the movie probably wouldn't be like as great as it is. But the whole highlight of this movie is seeing what these people are reacting to, and that's the best part. I mean, that's why I love the Jackass stuff, because I wanted to see what the people thought of this and see how extreme would they go. Would they get super angry? And I can go into that in a little bit. But yeah, that bar sequence was funny. Was it the funniest part of the movie for me? No, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Then we go on ahead and we wind up seeing them over where the zoo is, and that's where they were asking the girl about the
ghetto zoo, like this, not really a zoo, but some sort of like this
petting zoo, like
that with like exotic animals. Because I think like and then it's funny, what I like about it is tracking their location. Okay, they're here. Then it goes to Tiffany Haddish to see where she's at, and then she's going to asking people. And this one guy was about to like have a fist fight with her. Like she was asking him like, no, I don't know where these two people are. It's like, and then like she's going back as the two were like bantering, like you thought there was gonna be an altercation, and that's just what adds more hilarity to this movie, is to see how far these real people are going to go when they think this is real. And that's the highlight. So, and it's funny, they're tracking the location. All right, she's right on their tails, and then she stops, and then that's what I like about the movie. This scene in the location wise, where like, okay, they're here. When is she gonna show up and stuff like that? But yeah, now we can go like, and then I mentioned earlier, they meet up after like this one location. They're like, was the Chinese trap, was this before or after?
It was before that, to be honest with you.
The Chinese trap, Chinese trap on their middles.
Yeah, that was actually when were taking the pills inside Tiffany's car, and they thought it was mints.
Yeah, I think it was after the gorilla sequence, to be honest.
Yeah, that was actually.
Okay. So anyway, we'll go into the Chinese stuff in a bit. So anyway, they come out of the store and Eric's like, dude, man, I just bought this Chinese like finger trap, and he's like trying to celebrate, and then they meet up with this one white girl. She's like sitting there like brochures for the zoo, and that's when they ask her, are you ask her like, and that's what brings up the whole white chick situation again. So it's the recurring theme, and they're like, dude, let's go to the zoo. I always like the zoo. Yeah, we have time to like do it. So they go to the zoo and they're seeing everything in it. And then Chris like very honest, like, yo, I'm gonna get a selfie with the gorilla.
For Maria was a total badass. So he goes on inside there, and then all of a sudden the gorilla winds up waking up, and then he tackles him down and just pulls down his pants and starts going at
his ass.
And then you thought that was bad enough, whatever. He goes back in after he drops his phone.
But he's like, dude, I gotta go back in there. I left my
And
phone
I was
there.
like, everybody's like, are you crazy? Your
Or he's
mother
like,
effort?
and there's like, he's a real human being. That's the reaction of him getting raped by the girl.
This time he gets face raped pretty much
I know.
by the gorilla. And
I
then
know. This is just like, oh my god. This is the best part of the movie. Is this sequence? Is this how the gorilla just has his way with Eric? It's like if you thought Leo getting raped by the bear was pretty bad, this is worse.
much worse.
And
Much
you're
worse, to
seeing
be
this.
honest.
There's no blurs. This is you're full on seeing what the gorilla's doing to Eric, and it's just the sight of it. It's just like
It's really real looking if you think about it. The way they actually shot it.
Yeah, I mean, this is like it was like, and then like how they know how to shoot. I mean, I got to give credit to the production team, the director. They know how to place cameras in the best position because the cameras were in the best position, and you got like, and you're seeing this. There's no cuts or anything. You're seeing him get penetrated by the girl.
And then after that winds up happening, that's when they start eating the breath mints and everything. Think of that as breath mints. And they go into the store and they're high as hell. Like, they look like they're tripping on LSD. That's how trippy they are,
or whatever,
or shrooms, or whatever you want to actually think that these. I think it was ecstasy, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it was X that they were tripping on.
Yeah,
but
and then they wake up, and then you see them on this random golf course, and they wake up, and you see the Chinese finger trap is attached to both of their middles. And they can't get it off. So they're going to random people on the golf course asking, can you out? And the guy's like about to beat their ass. Then they go into like, and this is where I'm going to go into the behind the scenes because the behind the scenes. So they go into this barbershop in Atlanta, and the guy's angry. Like he's about to like kill them both, to be honest. So let me give you some behind the scenes. So the middle finger trap sequence when they go into the Georgia barbershop, that was the first ever prank that Lil Ray Howard ever did on somebody. Like full on prank. And almost got him killed. Oh, so they go into the barbershop asking, hey man, can you help? Do you have anything to cut us out? So the barber was looking for a gun. Couldn't find a gun, so he found a knife. And he was out chasing them. He went out and chased both Lil Ray Howard and Eric, and then right in the middle of that, the finger trap broke. So Lil Ray Howard is hiding under a car. Eric is running, and on set, like while filming, Eric and like they have this on the show, and they have it now. Eric has the safety word he says, and then once he says it, everybody stops filming, comes right out like SWAT team style. Eric, for the love, like he could not remember what the safety word, so he's running down Star Wars, and it was popcorn. As soon as he yells popcorn, everybody comes out and he shares the barber there that's about to kill them, and he tells him, "Dang man, it's just a prank. We're doing a movie." And the barber was like, "Oh my god, is this a prank? Like seriously, I was gonna kill you guys, dude. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna sign something." So the thing is, the madder or angrier somebody gets, the more relief they are when they find out they're being pranked.
Right.
So going into the fact that this is Lil Ray Howard's very first stunt that he filmed, he's calling up Tiffany Haddish, like telling me, like she goes like, "Yo, Eric's gonna get me killed on this movie." So Lil Ray Howard quits on the first day of shooting. He quits and he goes in this trailer, and then eventually, and then his Lil Ray Howard's kids tell him like, "Dad, you got to do this rest of this movie." I mean, the kids thought it was hysterical that he almost died on the set. And then Tiffany calls up Eric, and she's like, "Yo, I just heard you try to get Lil Ray Howard killed." And like Eric's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I want to be a part of this movie," and that's how Tiffany Haddish joined the movie.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So Tiffany is like, "Yo, I just heard you kill." Oh wait, that's hysterical because when Lil Ray was calling Tiffany, she was crying, laughing. Like she thought it was hysterical, and then she's like, "How can I be part of this movie?" And that's how they got Tiffany Haddish in this movie. But yeah.
I think it added something. To be honest with you, I think with her being in it, added a lot to it with that humor that she brings.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really good. And then, of course, I'm just wondering, are you done with the behind the scenes stuff, or was there more to it with that?
I think from that scene alone that was it from behind the scenes. That's all I got. But I
Okay.
figure since we're talking about that scene, I'd do it. I don't
Right.
know. I don't know if I have any other that I remember.
Okay.
But I
Well,
thought it was funny
then
because it adds more to that scene.
I agree. I definitely agree with you on that. And then also too, when they go into the Chinese restaurant, because why are we going into the Chinese restaurant? It is a Chinese debt trap and everything. So what better way to get it off if we can get it off with some Chinese people that might know what they're doing with this? So the Chinese person decides that they're going to try and cut, and they're like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? Why are you going to try and cut off our penises with the knife and everything? Because their dicks are connected together. And so he's like, whoa, she goes, it's all right. It's all right. She winds up cutting the paper off of it and winds up getting rid of the whole entire trap.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I thought that scene alone was funny, especially how everybody is watching them come in and they're destroying everything inside the restaurant too, because of the way that they're coming in.
Yeah,
I thought that was hysterical. To be honest,
I think like I don't know if this was before that scene or that, like this, like where Eric is having the dream sequence with him with Maria, and then
that was before. That
was funny too because it's like just the randomness of how her attacking some guy, and it's funny because the last thing I saw, the girl, that actress that plays Maria, she's on that show. She was on that show Bones. She played one of the friends of Dr. Brennan or anybody like. So I was like, oh, I thought it was funny anyway. That sequence alone when they're getting married and Eric is not only making out with her, making out with the minister, making out with other people. He's done that on the show where he's like randomly like a sequence where it's in a nearby restaurant. This police officer's chasing Eric in there, and then all of a sudden the officer arrests Eric, and then all of a sudden the two of them start making out. Like two dudes making out in front of everybody in the restaurants. So Eric's done this before where he's made out with other people, which I think, like I said, this since I've seen the show and I know the stunts, this added more to this movie for me because I've seen what he's done to the public, and like I said, I just thought that sequence was hysterical. But yeah, the Chinese sequence, like the Chinese trap and them going in this like that and destroying stuff, that was funny. I think then they travel, and then cuts right to Tiffany Haddish. She's in this restaurant area talking to people. Hey, have you seen these people? And she's got Fane tell him like, you find them, I'm gonna like if once I find them, I'm gonna kill them both. And she's telling the people that like she's about to kill them. And I'm like, yeah. And as she's in there, it's like, are you sure you guys didn't see him? And then right after she leaves, they show up.
Right, not even like 5 minutes or whatever. It's
like a minute later, they show up, and that's what adds more to them. Like, that's the first time she's gotten close to them, and then like they're walking in there, and then like, and everybody's like,
oh,
sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. But I also like the tension that the crowd is actually bringing, and they're whispering, and like, hey, those are those guys. Those were those guys on that poster that the girl had. We need to go in and we need to go on ahead and call her. And the husband's like, are you crazy? She's going to wind up killing them. He goes, no, we need to call her and let her know that they're here. And all of a sudden, Andre, which is Chris, is looking around. It's like, why is everybody whispering? Why is everybody pointing to us? And
goes, they don't know she broke out. And that's what adds more to it. They're like, what? She's out? Like they're freaking out. Like, oh my god! Like we gotta go. And then so like they're freaking out. Everybody's like, yeah, you guys better run. And all that stuff. And like, and then and they don't realize. And then they tell her, yeah, she just broke out of jail. And then that's what adds more to it. To that sequence. None of the people in that restaurant knew she broke out of jail. And that's what adds like, what? She broke out of jail? And that's when Laura Hayes like, dude, man, I told you it was a bad idea. We stole her car. We got to get out of here. They leave. She shows right back up to that same restaurant like a second later. Like she's hot on their heels. Like any deviation, she was right there on him. So that's what added more fuel to that. And then like so Laura Hayes like, dude, we're going home. Like, yeah, we're going home. And that's when the next big crazy sequence happened.
Right, and then that's also too when she winds up coming over there and everything, And he goes, "Where are they at? Where do they go?"
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the wife is like, "Man, they left just a few minutes ago," and everything. And Tiffany Haddish is like, "Where?" They went that way. All of a sudden, the girl's husband was up going, "Man, you being messy." Everything. You like that drama. And she said, "Hell, I don't want to get killed over some people that I don't know."
So they're going home. Eric is not happy about that because Eric's like, "No, I got to be with Maria." He takes control of the car, and the car flat out crashes into it. There's a huge car accident, and people are around them. They're seeing it, and they get out, and they're bloodied up. Like you see, Eric's like, kind of like there's not a lot of blood, and then it's like, "Dude, you just destroyed my sister's car. She's gonna kill us both." And it's like, "Dude, what's your problem?" So almost like a fight almost broke out between the two of them. And then, like, "Dude, it's okay. We'll call somebody to fix the car." Boom, car explodes.
Right, but not only that, but at first, the people that are over there watched what happened are pulling him out of the wreck. And he goes, bro, you need to go on ahead. You can't kick his ass right now or anything like that. He's got a concussion. He's not thinking straight.
Yeah.
He goes, "Look, we need to get out of here right now because of what happened." And so all of a sudden the car just explodes. He goes, "Okay, we definitely need to get out of here right now. You guys need to get out of here."
Eric's thinking with his not thinking with his head. He's thinking like, "Dude, I'm gonna meet with Maria. We'll be together. Like, I care about her than I care about you right now." And then so they both go their separate ways. And then
that's also when Eric goes on ahead and goes where the army recruiter is.
Oh yeah.
And he's like tore up. He goes, "Look, can you I just sign up to go to war? I don't what war.
I just want to die."
Well, we're having problems in the Middle East. He goes, "That's perfect.
I just want to die." I'm pretty much just saying, I just want to.
Right. He goes, "I just want to look. Just go on ahead. Send me over there. I just want to die. Just go on ahead. I'll go behind the lines, and you can just shoot me right now. I don't care."
And the army recruiter's like, "Oh my god, he's like, he's got to call somebody for help." I mean,
right. And then he goes, "I'll suck your dick if you just shoot me right now." And the army recruiter's like, "What? What's going
on right now?"
And he's knocking over the army water coolers and stuff like that to give out to people that are trying to be recruited. And that whole entire scene is just hysterical. And then he goes, "Look, man, you need to go ahead and get some help." He goes, "Man, everybody is leaving me. My best friend thinks that I don't respect him or anything like that. We've been friends forever. I don't want to lose him as a friend." "Then you need to go to him and tell him how you feel. So that way you don't feel like total shit anymore." "Okay, thank you for the advice. I'm going to go now."
Like, does he still say he still wants to suck his dick?
Yeah. He goes, but he also said this to him too. He goes, the army recruiter's like, "Look," he goes, "you telling me that you want to suck my dick and then you also want to just die? There's just something wrong with you. You need some help." And then, of course, he goes on to the Greyhound bus where his friend is.
Yeah, he finds his buddy. Bud. Yeah, I think it's
Bud. Yes, Bud.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Bud, look, I don't want to go. I don't care about the trip anymore. I just want our friendship, man. I don't care about anything." And Bud is just looking at him as he's pouring his guts out to him.
Like, what is going on? It's like something like one of those cheesy romance movies. Some guy wanted a plus tell her not to leave. And he's just doing a huge monologue about that. Like, and everybody's like, "Wow, that's true friendship right there."
Then he's like, "You think that you chasing down a bus is gonna get me to change your mind?" And he's like, "You're right. It did change my mind. Come on, we're gonna go to New York. We're gonna go see Maria." "What? We're really gonna go see Maria?" "Yeah, we're gonna go see Maria." Then they take the Greyhound bus all the way to New York, and then that's when they go to a gallery.
And he tries to get in, and the bouncer doesn't let him in.
Which I thought was funny though too. He goes, "Look, man, I can't let you in. You're not on the list, man." He goes, "Look, have you ever fell in love with somebody and you knew that they were right for you and everything. Well, this is how I feel about her. If I don't go and see her right now, I'm going to end up wondering what if for the rest of my life. So you let me through that door right now. And then the guy's like just turns away, acting like he didn't even see him.
Yeah. This scene, like I said, just seeing how fancy that art thing is, I knew something bad was going to happen to that art because, again, this is the common theme. A lot of stuff here he's done on the show. Like he showed up at this art area and he randomly like falls on one of the art and it crashes the whole thing. Like I said, I just knew something bad was going to end up happening to that art gallery just to see how fancy it is and see how that, and like you just had the new, like if you've seen the whole movie, like you just knew, okay, we're not done here.
Before we go into it anymore, this is where we're going to get into the spoiler territory of the film. So if you guys haven't seen this movie, if you want to go check it out on Netflix right now. It's streaming there. Come back and watch the rest of our review and 41 minutes in and everything, so that way you don't miss out on the rest of our review. But there is a lot of stuff that we're going to cover within this towards the end of it, and we're going to go on ahead and give out the ending to the movie. So if you haven't seen it,
plot details that. I mean, we haven't discussed much of the plot. We just said pretty much sums it up. So from here on out, we're spoiling what happens. Like the pranks, if you've seen the trailer, I mean, those pranks that we discussed, we just like that's not. We wouldn't really call those spoilers because it's out there. But from here on, plot details, stuff like that. Spoiler alert. Sorry about that, John.
No, you're good, man. So going ahead, something else that you wanted to touch on?
No, like I said, I think like you said, Eric finds Maria and she's given a presentation, and Eric is pretty much letting his heart out. Letting his heart out on her.
Well, you know what though? I had a feeling something was gonna happen inside that gallery though with the sister. I just didn't know what she was gonna do.
Yeah.
I didn't know if she was gonna go all out and just try and beat up the security person, or what she was gonna do, because she's a loose cannon.
Yeah.
But you know, I like the part where he's just pouring his heart out to her,
and she just rejected
Maria.
him.
She rejected him cold though. Like she didn't even say
that was not cool. Like I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for what Tiffany Haddish did to your museum.
No.
He came all the way just to tell you that, and then for you to like no. Like
I just like you as a friend.
Like as a friend now, but no. So and then right when that happens, Tiffany Haddish's car jumps right into the museum. Like this is where Tiffany Haddish, like we knew she was gonna catch up to him. She crashes right in the museum, which I like I said, I knew was probably gonna happen because man, that's a really nice art gallery. Something's gonna happen to it. So the nicer
I was thinking maybe Tiffany was gonna go ahead and hit them with maybe one of the art exhibits or something like that.
That would have been funnier, to be honest. Like, technically, she did. She was pushing Eric into the stuff. I mean, like, I would have thought she was going to pick up something and whack him with it, because it would have but seeing what they did to the museum, I don't feel sorry for Maria.
Me either.
You brought that on yourself, like he was trying to be nice. He traveled all the way to see you, and for you to reject him, yeah. I don't feel sorry for you, to be honest. But yeah, Tiffany Haddish comes crashing right into the art gallery, destroying everything. It was very fancy too.
It's very fancy stuff. As a matter of fact, I think one of the things was like for $12,000. Is what one of the stuff was going for. I'm like, some of this stuff doesn't even look that great, to be honest, for me to spend $12,000 on for somebody else's artwork.
Sometimes art's really crap. And people spend stupid, rich people spend stupid amounts of money on this stuff.
Right.
Like $12,000 for a painting of yellow, like just the whole thing, like the whole canvas is yellow.
Right.
Oh, $12,000, please. Seeing all that stuff get destroyed, I was surprised. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but
also too, I liked how he also told her, he goes, "Look, this trip wasn't easy. I ended up getting into a car accident to come and see you." And everything.
He risked his life to see her, and she flat out rejected him. That was cold. That was way too cold.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely not called for, because it's like but I was like, deep down, I kind of had a feeling she was going to reject him because
Me
that's just,
too.
that like because this is not your common like plot. Like you figured, oh, it ends up well together. No, like you just knew that, but them getting back at her by destroying her art, that was like I didn't feel sorry for it. I thought it was even adds more funny to it because like, ha ha, this is what you get. Felt like Nelson from Simpsons, ha ha. Like yeah, and then things escalate where you see like Eric's running, he ends up on the roof, and then Tiffany comes up and she's like hanging him off the roof, like flat out hanging him off the roof,
and everybody's just standing there and recording it.
And the one of the guy's girlfriend told him, "Dude, get under there. Like, we need you to catch him." And I'm like, and she's like, I'm from the streets. And she's like, I'm from the streets too, but you don't see us hanging people.
Or hanging people upside down.
Upside down.
And then you have this one guy who's just eating his dinner, and he goes, "That's some fucked up shit right there."
Yeah. He goes, like, I don't think you should be doing that. He shouldn't be hanging like that. Yeah, and then Bud comes to the rescue and he's like, "Dude, get him up." And the Bud's standing up to his sister, which
right. And then Tiffany made me laugh on that scene though. Because look at you, standing up for yourself. That's what I'm talking about. Come here, give me a hug. She gives him a hug, and all of a sudden,
slaps him.
Because you know what? I've been waiting 30 fucking years for you to go ahead and stand up for yourself. I am so proud of you for standing up for yourself. Well, thank you, sis. Thank you. Bam. And he goes, but you did destroy my fucking car, though.
You did steal my car and then like this is the random bitch. Like I thought she was gonna kill him. She was gonna stab him, but no, just the common bitch slap to the face. You did steal my car though, and I thought like that seems funny. And they all start bonding, like, oh, thank you everybody. And then they're not done with the art museum. They go back in there and tell Maria, I was like, thank you. I don't think it really was gonna work out anyway.
Yeah.
Todd here, he's my soulmate and all that stuff. And she's like, good, dude. And he's like, oh, great, get the fuck out of here.
Right, he goes, yeah, I think we can be. Right, he goes, yeah, I think we can be friends after all and everything. Me and my
F no, like it's like you destroyed my effing museum. Like you keep my like. Do you know how much like how screwed I am? Like, well, screw you. And like she's going off. I'm like, well, you did this to yourself. You shouldn't have said no. You should have, I don't know, like not be you, like you said. I mean, like I said, and then like this her reaction, and then she's crying. Everybody's like just hugging her, like she's the victim here. No, she's not the victim.
No,
you got it on yourself.
Doesn't her workers also look at her kind of rudely or something like that? Or
yeah, they look at her and like, what is this girl's problem? I mean, she was cold. Like she flat out rejected him, and Eric, like I said, he went through hell to get there, to travel with that, and then for you to reject him, like, come on. Like I said, like again, I didn't feel sorry for her. Like her museum got destroyed. Perfect. Like you just come and know, don't have a fancy museum while Eric Andre's around. He's gonna destroy it. Yeah, and yeah.
But yeah, definitely though. You're definitely gonna Eric is going to demolish that museum no matter what. He's going to find a way to do it.
Yeah.
So,
and then the next thing you know, like, dude, let's try the white chick. So again, the whole thing for this movie is the white chicks. They're making fun of it. Next thing you know, they're at this rich fancy party and they're dressed up like white chicks, like full on, like burn victim, like looking ones, like full on, like from the movie White Chicks. They like Lori Howard and that they're dressed up as white chicks, like, and everybody's like handing them stuff. And then Tiffany Haddish comes in as a white dude. She's dressed up as a white dude or whatever. Like, and then it's working.
That's actually one of my other favorite things, though. You don't even recognize that it's even Tiffany at all. She looked like, to be honest with you, she looks like the host like from. Huh?
She kind of looked like she had that Hitler mustache a little bit, or she kind of looked like Charlie Chaplin or whatever.
I was going to say, she also kind of looks like Alex Trebek from Jeopardy.
That too.
And I liked how she goes, you know what? You know what I like about being a man, a white man? I can do whatever the fuck I want. And nobody can say fucking shit to me because it feels good to be a man. And then then also to Eric Andre and his friend, or to me, I think his friend looks better as a woman than Eric Andre. Eric Andre looks like Wesley Snipes from Tu Wong Fu, Julie, thanks for everything, Julie Newmar, to be honest with you. That's how bad.
Again, that's just the funny, like, they're making fun of white chicks this whole movie. While this is going on, the running gag is them making fun of white chicks, which is hysterical. Like, and it's true. They're not like, Eric's not wrong about that. They're pretty much telling it how it is about that movie, and it's like they're making fun of it, and it's okay because I thought it was funny.
I did too. I didn't feel like the joke was overused, to be honest with you. They went on hit for a few minutes, and then they moved on to something else, and then they came back to it later on. Now they kept on hitting your, like most comedies and everything, they will try and keep using the same joke over and over.
Yeah,
it's like very repetitive, but not in this one. This one, they talk about it for 5 to 10 minutes, and then they go back to it, and then they come back and then
brought up again.
Right. So I'm actually happy that they went that route, because if not, it would actually felt very repetitive. The runtime on this thing is not that long either, which is something I appreciate. It's only like an hour and 40 minutes long, which is perfect for a comedy.
It was a
hour
lot.
20.
Yeah, it's like an hour and 24, I think 84 minutes, but you got to take into fact that's with credits.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, like, but then you might want to watch the end of the credits too, because that's where it gets funnier, because you see the behind the scenes stuff of how they filmed some of the sequences and how they're telling people, hey man, this is all just a prank. Like, this is all just a joke. And they're like, oh my God. And like, you got this camera there, like point out where all the cameras are. And then you get to see more behind the scenes of how they filmed the gorilla sequence, which just added it more to it. Like, and then telling us, like, the one lady from the beginning that was hiding like near her, like where Eric crashed into her house, or Chris crashed into the house and she's hiding. Like, ma'am, it's okay. It's just a movie. It's all good. We're not doing it anymore. And they see everybody freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. Like I said, the angrier somebody is, the more relief they are when they find out they're getting pranked. Which is just funny, because the angrier they are, they feel like they're gonna kill somebody, and then they say, heck yeah, I'm gonna sign something, I'm gonna be part of this movie. I'm like, tell me what I need to sign. Like, they're immediately signing on to it because it's hysterical. But yeah, like when you get to the credits, don't fast forward. Watch the behind the scenes, because it's hysterical.
Yeah, the behind the scenes stuff was really good.
And then they added some more pranks, like Eric in this bar, and he's like, hey, do you know where the bathroom is? And he's peeing his pants.
Oh yeah, that guy was about to whoop his ass.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
because like, he goes, seriously, you're pissing all over the place, seriously. And you know, I liked how they actually gave us some insight on how they actually make somebody look like they're pissing their pants when they're not pissing their pants.
Yeah,
and
it's like a little tube that they strap to like your side of your leg. They did this in the Jackass like show.
Yeah, and also too, Bad Grandpa though too.
Yeah, they did it in Bad Grandpa, which is a pretty funny movie too. I think like early, but while like in all of them, like before they get to the credits, they're singing, like they're up there dancing, and you see there's this really awkward seeing them as white chicks dancing to a DMX song.
Oh yeah, what song was that? Was that
I think it was Party Up.
Yeah, Party Up. Yeah, it was Party Up.
And everybody was still like, everybody's like, what is going on? Like, much to the discomfort of everybody else.
But yeah, then all of a sudden you said, okay guys, that's a wrap. Then you see all the camera people coming around out of nowhere, and everybody's just getting in on the gag now. So yeah, I thought that was really funny. But all in all, this movie's a blast. If you guys haven't seen this movie, I recommend it. I strongly do. Because this is my second time watching it, and I'm still laughing at the same parts that I laughed at the first time, which is very rare for me to laugh at the same parts that I've seen and everything. Because normally, you know, but normally, speaking of bloopers, but yeah, anyways, you know, it's rare for a comedy to actually grab me the way this one grabbed me. So I appreciate Rossi recommending this movie for me. Like I said, I didn't even watch the trailer for it. I just went into a blindfolded. I feel like if I did watch the trailer, then I wouldn't have laughed as hard as I did with some of the parts that I saw. So kudos for that, because I didn't even go in ahead and even watch the trailer. But is there anything else?
Yeah, I did. I watched the trailer, and the movie was just as funny as if I didn't watch the trailer. Like, for me, like, I like for something like this, since again I had more background of who Eric is, and again, if you like Bad Trip, watch the Eric Andre show. Like I believe all the episodes are on Hulu. That
I'm gonna have
stuff,
to watch it.
yeah, it's like it's very short. Each episode's 11 minutes. They're trying to be the shortest late night talk show, and they actually have real celebrities on there. I do want to admit there's 2 celebrities that walked out during the interviews because while they filmed that show, they had the celebrities there for about an hour. It's an hour-long interview, and the reason they do it is because the longer that they're there, the more they let their guard down. And as soon as they let their guard down, that's when Eric does his most inappropriate stuff. Just to you know what, just to see how far he can take his guests. 2 people walked out because they took that, and they have some really pretty big celebrities that have been like on this show, on the show, yeah. And like the show's hysterical. You can find all the episodes on Hulu. And then like the real highlight is like, I mean, he comes up with bad monologue jokes. Like he can't even do jokes, and then he's intention being really bad on stage. And then you see him doing the pranks on the people, and that's where I knew who he was because I watched all the episodes except for like the latest season. But that stuff is hysterical. So I knew who he was, and once I heard about this movie, it got me more hyped. And I watched the trailer, and that's when I'm like, yep, I'm in. Like, yeah, this movie's great. It's one of my favorites of the year so far, and I think this was my first movie I enjoyed from 2021.
All right. So, is there anything else that you wanted to add, or is that everything that you wanted to touch on?
No, I think that's it. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've seen this movie. This is not going to be the only time I watch it. I intend to watch it again at some point. Because the movie is just too funny to not watch again. Especially if it's on Netflix. Again, I highly recommend it. Like if you're interested, what's this movie? If you have a quick hour and 20 minutes, it's quick. You don't really have to pay it. Like you don't have to pay attention to the plot because it's just a pretty normal plot. They just did it in there just to have. All right, we need to have a plot, and then we can do our whatever we want on the people. That's where the movie shines. Is the pranks. Okay. Pranks are what sells this movie, and that's why like everybody needs to see it.
Okay. So with that being said, guys, this is going to be it for our review for Bad Trip. I hope that you guys wind up checking it out. If you haven't checked it out or anything like that, go ahead, stop what you're doing right now and check that out, and then come back to this review. So with that being said, tomorrow night, we're going to probably wind up doing something. I know that I might be doing for the Sopranos stuff tomorrow night with my friend Mike and also Stephanie from the Sopranos Blueprint. Also, too, Frenchie and I are going to be doing our review for the Mighty Ducks Game Changers. That's going to be at 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, and 6 o'clock Pacific Time for that. So those are the shows that we're doing for tomorrow night. All right. So if you guys like what you see, go on ahead, smash that share button. Go on ahead, show us some love, share this video with everybody else. Let everybody know about Movie Loves Unite. Also, too, go on ahead, show my friend Frenchie over at Schmoes of the North some love as well. Subscribe to his channel, give him a thumbs up on the stuff that he does. And then also, of course, go on ahead and if you guys want to, you guys don't have to, but donate to our page. This is just to go ahead and keep the lights on here at Movie Loves Unite. How do you do that? Just go ahead, go to www.movielovesunite.com. And also, too, that's all for all your entertainment needs and wants. But if you want to donate to the page, you just go to www.gofundme.com/Movie Lovers Podcast for that. Then, of course, if you want to follow me on Twitter at Movie Lovers Unit, you can go ahead and do that underneath the same name on stereo as at Movie Lovers Unit. Then you can also reach me at movieloversunite@gmail.com. And then you can also follow me at Movie Lovers TV Lovers Unite on Facebook and underneath the same name on Pinterest and on Instagram as well. It's been real. It's been fun. I can't wait to do this again. And always until next time, guys. Bye-bye.